Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Robbie with me. We've just lost 2-0. First defeat at the Emirates this season to Newcastle in the semi-final, first leg.
Yeah, it's a shock. You know what I mean? I'm shocked by that. You know what I mean? I thought, I know everyone's come on and sort of highlighted how good Newcastle were in defence, which they were. They defended admirably, you know what I mean? So many blocks they put in and everything. But Arsenal had some big chances tonight that they blew. You know what I mean? The Havertz miss. How the hell has he missed that? I still can't get my head around. He's wide open. He's right in front of the keeper. He's just got to head that.
Doesn't even connect with his head.
Doesn't even connect with it. I mean, that was a shocking miss. We missed a couple others on set pieces. I think Timber missed one. Martinelli, the chance he missed, he had the one-on-one. I mean, listen, all right, he's hit the post. Slightly unlucky in that, but I think the difference you saw today is that they've got a very, very clinical striker who's on form. You know, the two guys who scored are on fire at the moment for them. You know what I mean? Alexander Isak and Gordon, right? But Isak in particular, sharp, you know what I mean? And he's a centre forward. I was watching in the positions he was taking up, the space he was making for himself, and it always done centrally.
Yep.
Right, and I was sitting next to Julian and I was going, Julian, watch Isak's position,
watch
where he is all the time. Always in the box, even when he's out of possession, he's waiting centrally for the ball, right? Whereas you look at Arsenal, no one's in the box. Havertz is never in the box. When Jesus came on, he wasn't in the box. You know what I mean? They're never central, right? And that is the fundamental difference. And then he's clinical, and we don't have that clinical striker. And I think this is why Mikel Arteta is coming under such heavy criticism, including tonight. You know what I mean? There's been some fans coming on here saying that, they want him gone, because the reason why he's getting so heavily criticised is that he hasn't gone out there and got that striker in. And you can see it. We're missing it. And without Saka at the moment, the attack looks poor.
Yeah.
It really, really poor. And I'm worried at the moment. I've been saying it since the start of this. I said this since the summer, we needed a striker. And I've been saying it since the start of January. We need to get in some attacking players and get them in fast. And we still ain't done it yet. And if we don't, I can see the season drifting away. It's the obvious thing that we're lacking right now.
Is it just a striker, Rob? Because right now I'm looking at that attack and I think, boy, we're in trouble.
Listen,
in just more than just a striker, a winger as well.
We're off form at the moment. You could do with having, probably, listen, in an ideal situation, you could probably do with having a couple of wide players or one wide player as well. But for me, fundamentally, the thing that we're missing is a striker. Somebody that when a game is tight, like on Saturday against Brighton, will just bang in a goal, right? One chance will fall to him, like what happened to Havertz tonight, and it's a goal.
Yep.
Right? We don't have that. We have a lot of good forward players, but we don't have a clinical striker. They do. They didn't create loads of chances tonight, Newcastle.
They put away.
They had like 2-3 chances, right? And they buried 2 of them. That's the difference. Whereas we've had chances, not loads and loads, but we, as I said, they defended well. But we've had some clear-cut chances tonight, and we've not taken those chances, and that could cost us. As probably will cost us the tie.
Yeah, and going forward,
what I mean? It's a fundamental flaw in the Arsenal team right now.
Who's to blame? Is it the ownership? Is it the manager?
Manager has to take the blame for this, 100%. You know what I mean? Like, it was him and Edu who's been doing the deals in the summer. They should have got a striker. Yeah. It's as simple as that. They seem to not want to buy an out-and-out striker for some reason.
And if they don't address it this January window?
I can see the season drifting away if we don't address that, especially without Saka, because Saka's that X-factor player. Saka's a player who can make things happen in games that are tight. If you had Saka here tonight, you're probably looking on a different game. But he's out, and he's going to be out for a long time. We're not going to see Saka until at least end of March, probably.
Some.
And the season finishes in May. He may even be.
You may not even.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That when you have surgery on a hamstring, you may not come back by the end of the season, or if you do come back, you got to be eased in. Yeah. We're not going to see. I mean, to me, they should be almost like writing that off and saying, right, hopefully we can get him back. But right now, we've got to go out there. And if it involves breaking the bank, they have to break the bank. It's just how it goes sometimes. Your plan goes out the window because of circumstances. And that's what's happened at the moment. It's, you know, why didn't he bring Sterling on tonight as well?
Rob, it's not.
Honestly,
it's not
I was very frustrated with Mikel Arteta tonight. I'm like,
Zinchenko came on over.
What are you bringing on Zinchenko for? I mean, I know we got loads of games coming up. We got United at the weekend. We got Spurs next week.
That's not the excuse.
But
no way.
This is the first tie, a semi-final.
Yeah.
Bring on an attacking player. To me, why was if Sterling's not leaving then till the weekend? Why have him in the squad and we didn't bring him on? I didn't understand that at all. Made no sense to me whatsoever. We need a goal.
There's a lot of questions. And us spamming the ball into the box when Havertz is on the right and he's the tallest player. Like, there's a lot of questions.
Spamming the ball into the box and there's no striker there. But even despite that, I mean, it nearly worked a few times. Havertz, easy chance. Score. If it's a 2-1 game, you're still looking at it and saying it's a really tough task. Going up there to St James's Park, but 2-1 is back on again.
That's
because you can go out there, you get an early goal, all of a sudden the game's changed. You know what I mean? Nerves, all that comes into play. But 2-0 is very hard to overturn against Newcastle. But the one thing I would say, a month is a long time in football. You know what I mean? And you know, we're playing a Newcastle team at the moment that's bang on form. You know what I mean? They're playing brilliantly at the moment. They're on form. Everything's going for them. You know, in a month things can change.
But where,
I mean, you could be missing at Isak. You could be. You never know. You know what I mean? I'm clutching at straws. But these things do happen.
Fair.
These things do happen. A month is a long time in football. You know what I mean? We're playing a bang on form team at the moment. It could be different in a month. But for me to change around our month, got to go out there and spend this January. There's no excuses right now.
There was no excuses for this performance, Rob. I mean, I know you're not giving excuses, to be fair, but you're saying, you know, a month things could be different. I'm actually standing here worried about what Arsenal look like going forward. And
that's what I'm saying. I do feel, that's what I'm saying. You're right, and that's what I'm saying. It could, if we don't get on top of this right now, it can drift away very easily because you know you've got coming up. You know, you've got Man United. They're cock a hoop now after drawing with Liverpool. They're going to come. They're going to be confident. You know, especially after tonight, that they can get a win. Then we've got Spurs next week. You know, don't matter how badly Spurs are playing. You saw that with Man United against Liverpool. It's a local derby. They're going to come. They're going to have a go.
Villa's
That's
after
one
that.
thing, you know, they'll attack. And then Villa after that. And we've got games like literally every few days right up until the end of the month. We've got 2 Champions League games. So we've got to, I feel something, we need something.
Were you shocked and surprised?
In that transfer market that puts a little excitement back into the team because at the moment it's very flat.
It's very flat.
Very flat at the moment.
And it's close to all really capitulating. I know it's still early on, there's still a lot to play for, but were you not surprised when they scored their second? I didn't see Arsenal ever getting back into it. You think, listen, it's a cup competition. Try and get a goal back. So at least when we're driving up to St James's Park next month, we've got something to hold on to. Now I feel like, what's the point? That's the feeling I have.
You can't say what's the point because this is football. It's football. You can go up there to St James's Park. After 5 minutes, Arsenal are 1-0 up. It's a completely different game. That's how it goes. But if we're not 1-0 up, if they go 1-0 up, then it's a waste of trip. Mad. Yeah. It's football, man. Listen, if you support your team, you can't look on it and say, boy, I ain't going because we're 2-0 down. Well, you can do if you want, but I'll be there. Yeah. I'll be there. You never know, right? But we're not in a great position in that game. They're a very good team at home, but then so are we. We were unbeaten at home up until this game. So, but it's going to be a really, really tough task to go up there. But that's why I'm just looking at the bigger picture. Beyond tonight, beyond the Carabao Cup, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm saying even in the Premier League, we need something, you know what I mean? The draw against Brighton, you know, not really lacking in attack. The other day against Ipswich, you know what I mean?
You can see there's so many alarming signs.
We need something. Yeah. The team needs, you know what I mean? And our spark normally is Saka. He's normally that guy, sparks us into action. He's normally that guy in a game that's tight that does something, assists, beats 2 players. We ain't got that at the moment. And at the moment, without it, that's why we have to go and buy it. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, bro. And that's why we have been relying on him in the attacking sense. Yeah. We've been relying on him and set pieces, right? So now we need to go out there. I don't necessarily think we need midfield players.
No,
I don't.
But
I don't think we need. I don't think we need defensive players. Yeah. But what we do need, we need an attacker. We need someone who's clinical, who's going to bury some of these chances. Because every game we're creating chances and we're not putting them away at the moment.
Is it done, Rob? I know you said, you're going to go up there and next month. We're going to be there, but do you feel like it's too much to claw back? Think about it. They had no Bruno Gomes, no Shah today. They came here and it looked very comfortable for them. Mentally, are you looking past this cup now and saying Champions League, FA Cup, Premier League?
I think those players there tonight, they owe every Arsenal fan. They've got to go out there and put some fight in, man, show some fight. And it ain't over yet. You know what I mean? Like, how many times the top teams will say it's not over yet and can and it's a two-legged tie, right? And if you go up there and you get an early goal back, it can be a completely different game. Because the one thing I say, listen, Newcastle, great side, but they haven't won nothing for a long time. Yeah, they're desperate for this,
70
right?
years, yeah.
You go up there, you get an early goal, all of a sudden, doubt starts to come into their mind. Jitters start to come in. The boy is not going to be one of these again where we're not going to get over the line. So, and as I said, a month's a long time. If that game has been played next week, boy, I don't know, man. I'll be looking at it thinking, but in a month now, you can get yourself together, you can hit a bit of form, things can change. About 5-6 weeks ago, Newcastle were playing poorly. Yeah. There's people talking about Edu getting sacked. Am I right? You're a Newcastle fan. About 6 weeks ago, there's people saying Edu is on his last legs. He could get sacked. And in the space of that time, look how they're playing. They've beaten us, beaten Spurs, beaten United. So a month, that's when I say a month can be a long time. But for us, we've got to get ourselves together. I mean, it's looking... At the moment, it's looking so flat.
Agreed.
And it shouldn't be flat in January.
It's worrying.
It's looking so flat. But things can be done to create a boost. But they're going to have to go and spend some money. There's no, bargain. But, any top player right now that you're going to get away from a club, you're going to have to... If you want Matheus Cunha, right, I saw where they were saying he's stalling over signing his new deal. They got to go aggressive. They're going to have to probably spend a 10-15 million more than what he costs in the summer. Yeah. And that's just how it is. But if you want a player like that who can come and spark, get the place excited again, get the players excited, let people have another threat, that's what you're going to have to do. If you think you're going to just go and bring in a little odd loan or something, it ain't going to work. Ain't going to work because we need somebody who's better than what we got right now. And we need a striker. And if we don't get that striker, I'm worried about the season. I really am. Got to get it.
Thank you, Rob.